This is Tower Studio on the first floor, room 8121. And here it is. Let me switch to the wider angle camera. So when you arrive, the bed is folded up. This folds down and becomes your bed, and so you lose the couch and these push out of the way. So we have one chair with a little desk and a Keurig coffee maker and a phone, some storage on these shelves, some storage in the drawers, only to find Gideon's Bible, a window, a patio, nice big TV, full-length mirror, bonjour, and the bathroom, which is almost as large as the rest of the room. And we have a closet, a light, more storage, ironing board, extra blankets, iron, safe, luggage rack, laundry basket, nice big shower, 2 shower heads, the toilet, and so once we have all of our stuff in the room, I will show you what it looks like once you're actually unpacked. I forgot to show you the kitchenette that you get in the Tower Studio. Now you still get a microwave and there is a mini fridge in here, but unlike the normal DVC studios, you don't get the extra bar sink. But you still have a toaster, utensils, can opener, paper towels, another set of extra pillows and blankets, ice bucket, more storage drawers. Now this is what the room looks like once the bed is down and you've got your stuff unpacked. So you put the bed down and you have to open up one of the bags with the extra pillows and blankets because there are no pillows on the bed when it's folded up. It's got these arms of the couch stay where they are when the bed is down, and it makes it kind of awkward for getting in and out of the bed. So it's just awkward. I put one suitcase over here in front of the mirror to kind of get it out of the way. You have to put these 2 little storage ottomans. You have to push them out of the way because they can't be in the center with the bed down. I put a second suitcase over here. Here's your one chair. There's some USB plugs over here, and there's a light. There's a little light switch here. There's these 2 little cubby holes on either side of the bed, and they have USB plugs in them. But just be careful that you don't forget something in there when you check out, because that seems like that would be easy to do. And you have this little Peter Pan mural behind you. So yeah, here is the tiny Riviera Tower Studio. Hello again. Well, first things first, it's a small room. It's a really small room. I don't know if it's just that Jim and I have been married for too long, but it's really too small for 2 adults for more than one night. Now, it's a really nice room. Everything in it is high quality. I love the bathroom. I have no complaints about the bathroom. It's just a small room. The living area of the room is small. You've probably never stayed in a hotel room this small in America, except maybe in Manhattan. If you've traveled in Europe and if you've ever stayed in an Ibis. The living area is about the same size as a room at an Ibis. It's just that the bathroom is larger. I really love the bathroom in the Tower Studio. It's just a small room. The Tower Studio is 255 square feet or 23.7 square meters compared to a Deluxe studio at the Riviera, which is 423 square feet or 39.3 square meters. That's a huge difference, and you really notice it in the living area. It's a perfect room for one person, really. It's a really nice room. It has everything you need. It's laid out in a very compact manner. It's just there isn't much space. I think one of the main problems that you'll have when you're trying to stay there is it's difficult for two people to eat a meal in the Tower Studio together because there's no table that you can both sit at. The only thing is that there's the desk that has the one chair, so one of you can sit there, and then otherwise somebody else has to either sit on the couch or on the bed and eat at one of those little ottomans with the little table on it. And it's like, it's not very comfortable, especially now when we're eating in our rooms more and it's hard to get reservations, and so you're often having to do mobile order and bring food back to your room. It's difficult to eat together if there's two of you. And then your trash starts piling up. As you buy things on your vacation, you start bringing more stuff into the room. More stuff's coming into the room than is going out of the room. Or if there's two of you in there, you can just feel like you're on top of each other all the time. And that really just depends on how comfortable you are being that close to somebody for that long. So based on that, I would say that it's not a very comfortable room for two adults for more than one night. I recommend using a Tower Studio. It's a great first night or last night of your trip, and you don't really need to spread out as much on a first or a last night, but it's a very nice room. The quality of the room is every bit as nice as any other DVC studio. It's not that the quality of the things in the room are any lesser because it's a smaller Tower Studio. Everything else is just as nice as it is in the Deluxe studio. And like I said, the bathroom, I love the bathroom in the Tower Studio. It's really nice. It doesn't have a bathtub, so I mean, if you need that, then you obviously don't want the tower, but it's a really nice bathroom. I really like the bathroom. Is really important to me in hotels. Another positive of the Tower Studio compared to the other rooms at Riviera is I feel like they're quieter than the Deluxe studios that we've stayed in. I don't know if it's just because the rooms next to you are smaller, there's less people in them, so there's less people making noise. They're also down at the very end of a hall, and so they don't get a lot of traffic except for the people that are staying there. And the bed is really comfortable. That's really surprising to us. I feel like the bed is more comfortable than it even is in the regular Disney Deluxe beds. Let's get into some numbers. Just so you know, if you are booking with DVC points, you can only use points at the Riviera that were either resale points bought before January of 2019 or any points that were bought directly from Disney or a resale contract for the Riviera. You can also book for cash, and you can keep an eye out for pass holder discounts, DVC discounts, just general public discounts that Disney releases seasonally. And so you can see that the Riviera Tower Studio runs anywhere from 9 to 28 points per night. That's quite a spread. Is it ever worth 28 points per night? Frankly, no. And then for cash, this is the rack rate before tax and a parking fee. Now, if you are a DVC member, blue card or white card, you do not have to pay a parking fee if you are staying at Riviera, even if it's on cash. But if you are booking a cash room and you're not a DVC member, then you're going to have to pay $25 per night to park there. So the rack rate for a Tower Studio is anywhere from $373 to $670. Now, for these cash prices, you could stay off property at Hilton Bonnet Creek, which is literally right next door to the Riviera. And that's a very nice hotel. Much bigger room than a Tower Studio. Excellent pool with a lazy river. It's very close. It's right next door to the Riviera. And you get the same sort of benefits that you get for staying at a Disney Springs hotel. Now, this is a good illustration of why that room really isn't worth 19 points a night. I wanted to compare the price in points of a Riviera Tower Studio to a Boardwalk Standard View Studio. At their lowest, they cost exactly the same amount of points. Well, I would rather stay at the Boardwalk, personally, especially for a longer period of time, because you can walk to two parks. There's just more things to do in that area. I would just rather stay there for a longer amount of time than the Riviera. And you can see that at its highest, the tower costs more than a Boardwalk Standard. Well, I'm speechless, actually, about that, because it's just not worth that. It's just just not. It's a really nice room though. I'm not saying it's not a nice room. It's just small and it's expensive. And if you compare the weekly cost of a tower studio to that Boardwalk Standard studio, these are the 2 times of year that I like to do for comparisons of DVC points, because they're not the absolute cheapest time of year, but they're not the absolute most expensive time of year, but they're still very common times of year to travel. The lower point costs are what it costs to stay there the whole month of January or the first half of December. And so you can see that a week in the Riviera Tower is 88 points, but a week in the Boardwalk Standard is only 73. And if you stay during spring break, which for Disney DVC purposes is basically from President's Day through Easter, you can see that a Riviera Tower is 130 for the entire week, and the Boardwalk Standard is only 113. And even a Boardwalk Pool Garden View is 139 points. I'm at a loss why you would stay for an entire week in a Riviera Tower studio, because that's just expensive, man. I mean, that's expensive. And even when you compare the price of the Tower Studio to the Riviera Deluxe Standard View Studio, so it's the same hotel, and you can see that the room, you're talking 255 square feet for the Tower versus 423 square feet. The price difference between the Tower and the Deluxe is not really that much. The difference between the 2 rooms is anywhere from 2 to 5 points. Now, once you stretch that cost out through an entire week, you see that a Deluxe Studio is substantially more than a Tower for that entire week, 71 points for the lowest time of year versus 104 points for the Deluxe Standard. Yeah, that's 33 points. I mean, that's a lot of points, but that's also what I'm talking about how expensive the Riviera is just in generally, because if you go back to the previous slide of the Tower versus the Boardwalk Studio in January, 88 versus 73 versus 104 for the Deluxe at the Riviera, the Deluxe Studio for an entire week. The Riviera is an expensive resort for cash and points. I really love it. I recommend everybody stay there to try it out, but staying there for an entire week might not be the best use of your DVC points or of your cash. So in conclusion, the Riviera Tower Studio is a lovely room at a lovely resort. I recommend everybody try out the Riviera, but I don't really recommend the Tower Studio for 2 people for any more than 1 night. And I don't really recommend the Riviera for an entire week because I think it's just expensive. And with the transportation limitations, I think that you might want to do a split stay at another resort and save some points and also make it a little bit easier for yourself on transportation too. Well, thanks for watching my review. Check out my other reviews. I have one on a Riviera Deluxe Studio, and we also have a review of the Riviera Resort in general. So I hope you'll check those out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.